Hello, friends and neighbors, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Jake Schaff, bringing you all of the latest news and stories from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. At a recent West Bloomfield Township Board meeting, officials took time to praise the work of our local law enforcement for their handling of the dangerous situation at Temple Israel. With the West Bloomfield Police Department doing so much work around the community, residents are looking to learn more and to even become members of the police force and serve the community they love dearly. The police department was offering opportunities at a local job fair in West Bloomfield. Our own Jonathan Montgomery has the story.
Whether it's stopping crime, putting out fires, or making the city look beautiful, the West Bloomfield Township Job Fair has it all. Today, I had an inside look with public servants in this community.
I'm aspiring to be a police officer. I've been with the police department for about 5 to 6 months now, and so far I'm loving it.
Any words of encouragement for anybody who, wants to try to do this, but they don't feel like, they have the qualifications? What words of encouragement would you give them?
The best advice I could give would be to become a cadet. It's a foot in the door. You get to do very minimal police work, I would say, for the sake of the argument, and you can determine whether it's not for you or if it is for you.
Favorite part about recreation is our job is recreation, which if you enjoy recreation, then it's, a pretty good field to be in. And then, if you enjoy being outside, parks is great for you. Also recreation, you're outside as well. Like I said, yeah, everything's just a different day and never gets old.
This is a wonderful opportunity. Reaching out to citizens that are interested in the fire service or police service or even just working for the township. This is pretty cool. West Bloomfield, beautiful community. I grew up on the other side of the state. I came over here for this job in West Bloomfield. I never explored over here. I'm super happy that I landed where I did.
We thank each one of these public servants in these communities for making Greater West Bloomfield what it is today. For Civic Center TV, I'm Jonathan Montgomery.
Big thank you to Jonathan for going out and getting that story. And yeah, there's so many opportunities everywhere you look in Greater West Bloomfield, whether it's with the fire department, police department, West Bloomfield Parks, everybody working together to make this community what it is. And that's always wonderful to see. At that meeting, praise was also brought upon the work of our water and sewer team for their response to a recent water main break that occurred near 14 Mile and Drake Road. Their quick work and protocols helped the situation become less catastrophic than it could have been, but it's one of the many jobs the Water Utilities Department does in Greater West Bloomfield, as they always have an eye on the community. I stopped by the Water Department in West Bloomfield to speak with some of the workers to get a better understanding on what they do for the community that many residents may not be aware of.
As you know, everybody needs water. So our main goal is to make sure that customers have water. If you live in the township, make sure you have water as well. So when it comes to main breaks, what we try to do is get it done quick as possible without damaging anybody's potable water or anything. So our main goal is to make sure that customers in mind first. So main breaks are hectic, and we all know that, but we try to make sure it's less stressful for everybody.
We have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We have on-call staff. So if there's an emergency after hours, we're getting that call and being dispatched through the police dispatch, and then we respond to those, get out there as fast as we can to limit the interruption to your service. When we have a break in our system, we have isolation valves or gate valves on the water system. So if the break is between 2 or 3 valves, it's a matter of shutting those down and then getting the repair crew out there to dig that up, replace the broken infrastructure, and getting it back in line.
What is it like to have a job where you really have to jump into action just like that?
That's when I enjoy my job the most, honestly. But yeah, we've got a great staff here. Our field guys are on a lot of things before we as supervisors ever have to deal with anything. And then as supervisors, we're constantly communicating with each other. So we tend to limit, I'll say, the emergencies that we can control. Obviously, there are external factors involved that can cause things, but we're prepared for almost anything.
A lot of people think it'd be stressful. It is at times, depending on the task at hand. But we're already here. Everybody's been trained to a point to where they know how to do certain things, and we work as a team. So even if it's one person out on the call, they have access to myself, the other other up guys and other staff here. So you're never really alone, but we work together to make sure that we come to the greater good and get the things fixed. At whatever the task is hand, we can fix it.
We're here. We're working for you. We're keeping you safe, keeping the water safe to drink, keeping the waste, moving it away from your homes and your businesses. And that if you need anything, we are a phone call away. But we're here to keep you safe.
Prepared for anything and ready to jump into action at a moment's notice. It's always fascinating to learn about the inner workings of Greater West Bloomfield, every single part of it, and I appreciate the Water Department for allowing me to stop by and to get an inside look on what they do for the Greater West Bloomfield community. One of the most anticipated events in Greater West Bloomfield is making its grand return in just a few short months. The Orchard Lake Fine Arts Show is set for July 25th and 26th of this year, featuring a wide array of artists, painters, designers, and more, each showing off their beauty and artistic visions to the community. But along with this familiar favorite event, a new art show will also be making its grand debut this year. You see a little bit of mystery. The West Bloomfield Fine Arts Show will be taking place on June 20th and 21st, right at the start of summer, expanding the summer art scene in Metro Detroit. Both of these incredible shows have been organized by executive producer Patty Narozny, who joins us now on the Splash Live to tell us more. Patty, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course, love having you on because I love talking about the Fine Arts Show. It's one of, if not maybe my favorite event to look forward to in Greater West Bloomfield. I promise I'm not just saying that. And with this brand new art show, it's just bringing double the excitement. So what inspired you to launch the West Bloomfield Fine Arts Show in 2026?
West Bloomfield. Anyway, what inspired us is we were looking for another show in Michigan, and West Bloomfield is great to work with, and so is the school district. And Katrina Crane was very open from the community education department about alternative locations at one of the schools. So we added a second show, June 20 and 21, at West Bloomfield High School, which is farther north than our current event, 23 years, the Orchard Lake Fine Arts Show. And what really inspired us is the jobs and the manufacturing coming back from all the auto companies and all the Midwest jobs that are coming back to Michigan, which is really why we inspired another show in Michigan.
Interesting. I love that. And as you said, it's going to be taking place at West Bloomfield High School. The event will be June 20th and 21st. Now, we've seen the Orchard Lake Fine Arts Show for quite a few years now. We've seen the types of artists and the types of creators that tend to be brought in for that show. How is this new show? How is that going to be different from the Orchard Lake Fine Arts Show?
Well, we bring artists to Michigan that don't do Michigan shows because right now I'm having this interview in Bradenton, Florida, where I live year-round. And we just hosted 13 shows in Florida, in Sarasota, and Boca Raton, Naples, Tampa, and West Palm Beach. And so that's how we bring artists to Michigan. The West Bloomfield show at the high school will give artists who can't make it to the July show an opportunity to come to Michigan and sell and feature their work.
Interesting. So providing more opportunities for these wonderful artists to showcase as many of them as possible for the people of Greater West Bloomfield. I love it. Now, for this very first show for West Bloomfield, I mean, curating the artist lineup, I mean, that's got to be a tall order, especially for the very first of its kind in West Bloomfield. How are you curating the artist lineup for this first year?
So jurying doesn't mean jurying. It depends on the actual show. And I'm now the curator after many years of being trained. Many people know of Ann Kuffler from Ariana Gallery in Royal Oak. She's been closed about 15 years. But she really helped me give some great direction as to what to look for with the artists. And we produce now over 150, 200 shows if you include our Florida lineup. So pretty much, I know many of the artists now, and if they, because we've been doing shows 25 years, and some of our shows are top 100, including the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show. We started doing something simple for artists who participated with us for a minimum of 5 shows. Is they're juried in as long as we have the space, and they have to tell us soon enough to make sure that they can reserve a space. So we try to waive it for many of the artists that support us for many, many years. But there's an electronic jurying system called Zapplication. It's application with the letter Z in front of it, .org, and we're members of it. We're started way in the beginning with them. And the artists need to submit 3 images of their most compelling work, along with one of their booth presentation that they would set up at the show. And the work is based on originality as number 1, technique, execution, and then booth appearance. Now, we work with many new artists who don't have a booth. So Hotworks recently invested. We're the only Michigan company for sure, and I think I'm the only woman company in the entire United States that has purchased 28 light dome tents, which are specific for art shows. And the light dome tents are a certain kind of tent for artists to allow the light to shine through onto their work, like from the daylight. It's not a heavy top covering. And then we also invested in pro panels, which are walls to hang the artwork. So we're bringing our tent company to Michigan and West Bloomfield schools. You'll see our truck parked there for 5 weeks at the schools. And it's our tent company. And so for artists who are new and they don't have a booth presentation, they can submit images of their most compelling work and say, hey, we don't have a booth, we're new. And then we jury based on their work. And if they don't have a way, like if they're going to invest in a tent or a setup, then we're happy to rent them. And that's how we make the show more standard, and it looks more professional with those beautiful brand new tents that we have.
Interesting. Providing all these resources to make sure that every artist has exactly what they need to showcase their wonderful works at this amazing art show. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Patty Narozny, the executive producer of both the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show and the brand new West Bloomfield Fine Art Show, which will be taking place in the coming months throughout Greater West Bloomfield. Now, I'm curious, Patty, how will these 2 shows work together to strengthen the regional art scene, especially what we see right here in Michigan?
Oh, yeah. Well, anytime you bring art to the community, it strengthens the community, period. I mean, art is just beautiful, and it brings everyone together. There's no politics involved in art, which is the great thing about that. And just everyone from the entire world is part of the events. And with all the jobs that are coming to Michigan, it'll allow people to have something great to do for these 2 weekends and enjoy art. We'll have food trucks. At the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show, we'll have great entertainment. And they're great community events to go out and have fun and bring the family. Both shows will integrate a kids' art competition. These are unique, one of a kind. Our competitions, I made it up about 2004, I believe, and to date we've exposed 5,000 students to the roles and entrepreneurship opportunity of doing art shows for a living. At the West Bloomfield show at the high school, this competition is for grades 6 through 12, appropriately for the high school students. And then at the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show on Powers and Daly, the student art competition there is for grades K through 8 or ages 5 to 13. And again, West Bloomfield Schools helps us get the word out for the students who can submit up to 2 of their original pieces. It's $3 to enter because we want serious entries only. And they can enter up to 2 entries. The work is displayed at the art show duration of the event. And on Sunday at 3 p.m., we have a presentation with winners, and it's the way we expose students to the roles and entrepreneurship opportunity of doing something they love for a living.
Wonderful, wonderful. So there, I mean, again, you're really setting the scene, and I can't wait to see all of the amazing artists at both the West Bloomfield Art Show and the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show. And with the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show having had gone on for several years at this point, what do you think continues to make it such a standout event every single year?
Well, we work year round. It may look easy to do, but it's not. You know, it's every show throughout this season in Florida. We've been promoting West Bloomfield and the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show to all the artists, to all the patrons. So it's a cross promotion. There's many patrons from Florida that go to Michigan, Michigan that go to Florida, and we're branding ourselves. So people know to look out for this event because we bring artists that you don't see at other shows.
That's exactly right. So many artists from all across the United States coming by right here in Greater West Bloomfield to showcase what they have to the community. I got a couple more questions before we wrap things up, Patty. Are there any new elements that we should be looking forward to this year with either of these art shows?
Well, I'm sure there'll be some new artists that you're not going to see. You know, we've had 13 shows down here, and there's many that didn't know about the Michigan shows, so they want to come to Michigan. So it's all about the number one focus with these events is the visual arts. It's the paintings, clay, glass, jewelry, fiber, wood, photography, mixed media. That's our focus. And hopefully you'll see artists that normally don't come to Michigan, and it'll be fresh and new for many of the patrons to see.
That's right. So make sure you mark your calendars for June 20th and 21st for the West Bloomfield Art Show and July 25th and 26th for the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show. Patty, last question. What would you like to say to residents looking forward to the summer art season this year?
Well, get out and enjoy and learn and look and love. And our motto is see art, love art, buy art. So anything, you know, if you're not sure, if you're looking to purchase something, if you love it, buy it. That's the bottom line.
That's right. Look for something. If you see something that maybe you think would be really good in your home, don't be afraid to hand over some cash and to take it home to spruce up the house. I mean, I think everyone's going to look forward to that. Patty, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you, Jake, and Civic Center TV.
Of course, really, really looking forward to all of the amazing artists, all of the great variety that we're going to see with both the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show and the brand new West Bloomfield Fine Art Show. So we appreciate Patty for taking the time to talk with us here on the Splash Live. A pediatric speech and language therapy clinic just opened up in West Bloomfield, dedicated to helping children build confidence in how they communicate. Sunny Speech is celebrating the launch of its West Bloomfield location with a grand opening event designed to connect with local families and the community. This grand opening is taking place on Thursday, April 16th at 5 p.m. Here to tell us more about the business and what they offer is the owner of Sunny Speech, Brooke Sagarian. Brooke, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Of course, really, really love having you on. Always love hearing about these brand new businesses and these brand new opportunities in all throughout Greater West Bloomfield. I'm going to start from the beginning. What inspired you to start Sunny Speech, and what gap did you see in existing therapy services?
So I started Sunny Speech because I wanted to be able to provide services the way that I truly believed in it. I didn't want it to be run by any red tape that another person was going to put on top of it, or, you know, insurance companies kind of dictating what I'm able to do. I wanted to be able to provide the services for the families in the way that they needed it. So we're a small company, and that kind of gives us that opportunity to be able to service families in the way that they need to be serviced. I've worked in so many different other pediatric areas, and I just felt like I really wanted to make this connection with the families, provide them with this community-based platform that all of them can come together. We can talk about what is happening with their child. We can work together as a team in order to be able to help that child move forward. And then we can start to do more group opportunities. So then that way everyone can kind of be a part of this bigger program.
Putting the child first and focusing on what they need already sounds great. And Brooke, you just mentioned that you've had a lot of experience in different clinical settings. How has that shaped your approach to this kind of care?
So I think I've kind of taken something from every little place that I've worked at. So I've worked in hospitals, I've worked in schools, I've worked in early on, I've worked in other outpatient clinics. And I've seen the things that have happened in all those places. And I've decided that, okay, you know, this is something that I like from here. And this is something that I like from here. And this is kind of what I want to put into this practice. So we offer home visits as well, which is really great and really helpful for the families. We try to make it as collaborative as possible, trying to work with the other team members that the family might have. So we just try to make sure that everyone is kind of working together and making sure that it's as collaborative as possible.
That's wonderful. And from what I understand, one of the things you specialize in with Sunny Speech is neurodiversity affirming therapy. What does that mean to you in practice?
So neurodiversity affirming therapy means that you are allowing the child to be who they are and who they're meant to be, and you're providing that support. You are not trying to force them into any type of situation or anything that we're trying to make them out to be. We're honoring their needs first, and then we're giving them that ability to express what their needs are. So all of my sessions are child-led. They're all play-based. I'm following what they want to do and then providing the supports where I feel like it's needed. So if that means that we're using a device in order to communicate, I will program that device to be as individualized as possible, making sure that the child's needs come first, and we're also focusing on their strengths. So all my reports have what the child can do, not what they can't do. We like to focus on exactly what the needs of the child are.
It really sounds like you're really cultivating a safe environment for these kids to be themselves and to really open up and to be ready for whatever you have to offer. And I love to hear about that, Brooke. And I'm curious, how do you ensure each child's therapy plan is truly individualized?
I really approach the families and try to get to understand them better. I encourage them to send me videos of what their child is doing at home, because then I can see it in a home context. And then I just spend a lot of my time with the child and trying to get to know that child. And first and foremost, I want them to feel safe. I don't have a small little clinic space that most speech language pathologists are used to working in. I purposefully chose this location because it has bigger clinic spaces that we can start adding in sensory supports for the child. So then that way they can feel like their needs are met and they can feel safe and regulated. And I can start to understand exactly what their needs are.
That's wonderful to hear. For those just joining us right now in the Splash Lab, I'm talking with the owner of Sunny Speech, Brooke Sagarian, who is the owner of Sunny Speech. Will be having their grand opening celebration on Thursday, April 16th in West Bloomfield. Now, Brooke, I mean, you just touched on it a little bit ago, but why did you choose West Bloomfield as the location for your brand new space?
I love West Bloomfield. It's my family grew up around here. My husband's family's here. My family's here now. It's just such a great community. I love all the families that I get to meet. And, you know, I'm part of the Chaldean community as well. And a lot of us are in West Bloomfield. And so I just feel like I'm at home with the families that I have, and just having my family close by. It's really helpful since I have a little one at home as well.
Well, we picked a place with a lot of great connections, Brooke. That's definitely going to go a long way. And with your plans for Sunny Speech, how do you hope it will make a difference for local families here in Greater West Bloomfield?
I'm just hoping that families can come to a place where they feel like they are truly being understood, and that the service of care that they're getting is at the highest level. I tell my families all the time that I will never take on a client that I don't feel 1000% comfortable taking on, and that we don't have we have expertise in. And I also tell my families that any child that walks through my door is now a part of me and a part of Sunny Speech. And so I'm constantly thinking about them, constantly trying to make sure that the families feel supported and that I'm giving them as much support and as much love and care as possible.
And that's what every family wants to hear when they find resources like this available in their community. Now, Brooke, as I said, your grand opening is scheduled for April 16th. What can attendees expect from that celebration?
We're just hoping that everyone can kind of join together, see the new space. We have a lot of different kinds of, sensory supports there, different kinds of activities for kids. We're going to have food and refreshments, and just come and enjoy, get to meet us, get to meet the space.
Well, I'm sure everyone in the community is looking forward to it and looking forward to welcoming you to become a part of the West Bloomfield family. Brooke, last question before we let you go. I'm sure you have a lot of goals for Sunny Speech for the future. What are your goals for this first year in this brand new space?
I really want to start doing more community-based sessions, more groups. So one of my biggest focuses is starting to do more educational opportunities for families. So bringing in experts that can talk about the IEP process, that can talk about feeding, that can talk about, different aspects of speech or occupational therapy. And then also being able to provide group sessions for kids. So then that way the kids can start to meet with each other, start to work on those social skills. And we can just have more community-based events.
That's wonderful, Brooke. Can't wait to see what's to come with your business in the many months to come. Thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
Thank you so much for having me.
Loved having you on. Once again, the grand opening for Sunny Speech in West Bloomfield is Thursday, April 16th at 5 p.m. Make sure you stop by, say hello to Brooke, welcome her to the community, and see what kinds of availabilities and opportunities there are for your kids with this wonderful pediatric speech and language therapy clinic here in West Bloomfield. The spring season means many favorite stops around Greater West Bloomfield are opening up for the warmer months. One of those places is TreeRunner Adventure Park, and they're getting into the spring season with a fun Easter egg hunt taking place this Sunday, March 29th. Just the first of many events TreeRunner has in store for families all throughout this spring and summer season. And joining us now to tell us more is TreeRunner's Assistant General Manager, Luke Weller. Luke, thank you so much for joining us today.
So much for having me.
Of course, love talking to TreeRunner. It's signifying that we are really approaching the spring and the summer seasons. And I mean, I did a package with you guys a couple years ago. Still one of my favorite packages to this day. So love what you guys do for the community. And you're kicking things off with this wonderful Easter egg hunt on the 29th. So what makes the Easter egg hunt at TreeRunner unique compared to traditional egg hunts?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So this is our Easter egg hunt. I love this so much. It's one of my favorite events that we do. And what's kind of different about it is that I always think there's so many eggs. There's so many all over the place. I really mean it. So we get really into that. We'll hide them on the grounds, so you can find them if you're just walking around down there. But we'll also hide them in all of the fun things that we do at the park too. So if you've never been to TreeRunner, I think people primarily see us as our adventure park. So that's our obstacles and our zip lines up in the trees. And that is our main thing, I would say. But we have all sorts of fun things you can do on the ground, too. So we have a mini golf. We have a bounce force. It's kind of like a trampoline park, but it feels very different. It's hard to describe. And we also have a gem mining, which is like you can find really cool rocks and things. And all of the eggs will be hidden through all of those events, too. So whether you're doing like our junior park climbing, anything else out there, you might just be going throughout your fun and be like, hey, I found an egg here. And you're more than welcome to take the eggs from there to pick it up, join the fun. And I always see it as like a great event for like if you're super professional at egg hunting, we hide them in really tough spots. If it's your first time ever, we'll hide them like kind of all over the place in little simpler spots for everyone to join in. And we'll keep refilling it throughout the whole hour. So if you're starting at 11 o'clock, you'll have all those too. But even if you're jumping in a little bit later, let's say 11:30, 11:40, there'll be plenty of eggs for you to find there as well.
Okay, that's good because I feel like a lot of egg hunts, traditionally, it's like, oh, the kids find the majority of the eggs within like the first 5 minutes and then there's not much left for everybody else. That's good that you're taking those precautions to make sure everybody has a chance to get some eggs and to get some goodies from this event. And it really sounds like that throughout this egg hunt, you're truly incorporating the adventure park environment really into this experience.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's something that's, I think it's fun for like our team just to be like, okay, we get to hide things throughout all the fun things that we usually get to do. But it's also fun for everyone that comes and visits the park because it's not often that you are, climbing a ladder or climbing a bridge up in a tree and you're like, I can also find an Easter egg here. And it's like a little extra bonus prize. It's a very cool opportunity for folks of all ages. I think I mentioned a little bit, we have a junior park too. It's for super young guests, and we hide a lot of eggs in that environment too. So if you're 4 to 7, you'll find lots of eggs in that area as well. But yeah, it's just a little bit of a different type of Easter egg hunt. And if you are not interested, I guess, doing all the climbing in your visit, you can just join on the fun on the ground too. We make sure that there's options for everyone, whatever you're looking for on the day that you come.
Of course, and I mean, this egg hunt sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun for everybody in the community, but this is only the beginning of what TreeRunner has in store for the season because we just started spring, so we've got plenty of months of fun in the future, I'm guessing. What does reopening for the spring season truly mean for TreeRunner West Bloomfield?
Like that. I see spring a lot of the time for TreeRunner as a big part of our growth too, which I know everyone kind of sees spring as like a growing time, but it's a time that like we're super excited to be back. So we start thinking of a lot of really cool ideas. A lot of our team members will throw things out there and be like, hey, I have thought of something when I was like not working there in the winter. And we'll take these ideas and we'll just try a lot of fun new things. So this Easter event is a reoccurring one. We do this every year, but a lot of times we'll just kind of very spontaneously be like, hey, let's do a new event this upcoming weekend. Let's try something new. We'll see if it sticks. And we'll do different ways of teaching people in the park too. We'll try things up differently that way. It's just a very like experimental time for us, I think. And we get to try a lot of new fun things before it gets like super heavy in the summer and the fall. And we'll plan events for those times of the season this time of year too. But that's what I always see the spring as. I'm like, this is like a really fun time that we get to jump back into things and try new things too.
It's like the experimentation period before you really get into the thick of things with the much busier months, I'd imagine May, June, July. Now, with TreeRunner having been, let's say, in hibernation for the last few months, coming back into the spring season, how do you prepare the park after winter to welcome guests back safely?
Oh, I really like that. I think it's really cool the process that we do. We do checks on our equipment and our things all throughout the season, just like making sure that there's regular upkeep. But during the winter, we do like super duper in-depth checks. So we'll have like professionals come in, they'll climb through all the courses and they'll give us a big list of like, here's all the things that you guys should maybe adjust this upcoming season. And we'll work all winter on those adjustments, make sure that everything is back to its proper shape, ready to go for the, the spring, yeah. We'll also take all of our equipment down off the trees. So some of the like belays that you do up in there, we'll take that down, we'll send it out to some folks and they'll basically take it apart and rebuild it, make sure everything is ready to go and super good. We do the same with all of our harnesses, all of our clips. Everything is checked by people who are certified to check these equipments, and we'll just basically, I want to say like rebuild everything and recheck everything, make sure it's top notch and ready to go for this spring. So everything gets a review. We keep track of all these things in like huge lists and stuff like that. And it's cool to see how things work from a technical standpoint, but it's also just a very satisfying process to be like, we have been through everything that we have here. And like, we know it's all good. So it's love it. I love it a lot. I'm a very like technical person when it comes to like knowing how things work. So I like it a lot. But that's like a big thing of how we prepare for I guess from a very like mechanical standpoint, how we prepare things from an off season. But we also just, we take the time to, like I said, prepare new events, prepare new things, get things all ready to go. And like, we'll get new things for the park, make it look all pretty. And just, set it up all nice for the spring. We have a long hibernation season, it feels like. So there's a lot that we're able to do during that time.
It sounds like a very thorough process to make sure everything is up to code and as fun as can be for everyone to enjoy with TreeRunner. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with TreeRunner Adventure Park's Assistant General Manager, Luke Weller, talking to us about TreeRunner's grand opening for the spring and summer season, as well as their upcoming spring annual Easter egg hunt taking place on Sunday, March 29th. Now, Luke, why is it important for TreeRunner to host these community-centered events like this one in West Bloomfield?
Oh, that's a lovely question. I think it's really important just because I think it really brings a lot of people together, which is something I always like worry gets a little bit lost over time. Is just like people interacting with each other in person, outdoors. And I always see these events as like a time to meet new folks. We're surrounded by excellent people, surrounded by lovely folks, and it's an opportunity to talk to people, make new friends, and just make connections. So every time we host a community event, I see new people like, interacting with each other. Sometimes I'll see folks, I'm like, oh, these two came together. They must have. But then they're like, no, we just met today. And we just made very good friends today. I'm like, that is excellent. One of my favorite things is just having an option for people to make connections is kind of how I see it.
I love that. And again, with TreeRunner opening up for the spring and summer season, that means people are getting outside again. They're trying to get a little bit more active, maybe trying to shed off a little bit of that holiday Christmas weight that they gained over the winter season. Yeah. So how does TreeRunner contribute to outdoor recreation and family activities in the local community?
Ooh, that's cool. Well, I mean, everything we do is outside, and I guess it's hosted by people who also love being outside. So we're very happy to be able to give back in that way. So you're kind of doing something that seems like it's like, I mean, it is very fun. But I always think it's like you're kind of tricking yourself. You're tricking yourself into being like super active out there because these courses are fun, but they're challenging. And you realize when you get out of the trees, you're like, I'm really feeling it all over the place. And you get your like a little bit of like a actual working out there when you're there. We have the things like the bounce forces too. It seems like you're like, yeah, I'm just doing like a trampoline thing. It's really fun, but you also feel that on your whole body. It takes a lot of physical activity. So I think that's a great way that we contribute back into a recreational sense is that you're kind of being able to mix like actually staying fit and keeping yourself active while doing something that's really, really fun as well. And you're able to do it with your family or with your friends. It's not like a single alone thing. It's a thing that you can do with other people, which sometimes makes it a little bit nicer too.
That's right. And everybody gets a workout with this sort of stuff. I mean, I remember when I was there and I was going through the courses like everybody else, they took a lot out of you. They were quite a bit to deal with, but they were still so much fun. I got a couple more questions before we wrap things up, Luke. What role do events like this one play in encouraging people to spend a little more time outdoors?
Ooh, okay. So I think that events like these, they really just kind of shift because I always like to think of it as like, whether it's your first event outside or maybe this is like your 30th type of event like this, either way, I always hope that encourages people to want to leave doing more. Like they're like, even if it's like not outside of non-TreeRunner, just like I want to spend more time outside. I know that like I was very much in that position where when I started at TreeRunner, when I first started climbing here, I was like not a very outdoorsy person. I enjoyed it here, but I didn't spend much time outside, honestly. But that's completely switched around. I'm totally into this like climbing community now. I'm into all of these outdoor activities that like my friends I've made here encourage me to do. And that's something that just shifted by. I just came here and I climbed one day. That is how it started. And I always like to think like that could happen to anyone here. You can come here for, just an egg hunt event. And then you're like, I actually want to do a lot more outside. I really enjoyed doing that. And it can totally shift your whole like passion and what you're really into, which I guess maybe it sounds a little silly to be like, this is all down to one Easter egg hunt, but like it could happen. It could happen to anyone. So that's always how I see it. It's just like it could cause a domino effect to spending a lot more time outside and finding something that you're really interested in that maybe you just didn't know that about yourself before.
It absolutely could. You never know. Luke, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Last question before we let you go. Any other teasers or any other things you could give us a little preview on of what else we can expect with TreeRunner in the coming months?
In the coming months, just a lot more of what we have. If you haven't been here since last year, we have bounce sports that we're really trying to like make it even nicer. Our mini golf, we just updated that. We're always planning new events, and sometimes we're a little spontaneous with them. So if you aren't already, I would definitely encourage you to follow our socials. We have our Facebook and Instagram. It's TreeRunner West Bloomfield. We also have our TikTok, which is TreeRunner Adventure Parks. Our website is just treerunnerparks.com. So we'll always announce our next coming events on there. We're always thinking of things, like I said, behind the scenes. And I mentioned spring is a very experimental time for us. So, maybe one week we'll just be like, this weekend, we're doing something new. So follow us on there. You'll hear about all the fun things that we are cooking up behind the scenes.
Well, can't wait to see what's to come, Luke. Thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash
Absolutely.
Live.
Thank you. Have a nice one.
You as well. Lots of fun everywhere you look in West Bloomfield, and plenty of fun with TreeRunner Adventure Park with their Easter egg hunt, and many more exciting events to come throughout spring and summer this year. March is National Cerebral Palsy Month, and work is being done every day to educate the community and to benefit those living with the condition, including some assistance from some hockey heroes. Earlier this month, the Michigan UCP Pucksters held their annual charity hockey match at Orchard Lake St. Mary's High School, helping families and residents and raising funds for medical research all the while. I had the privilege of attending this event to learn from residents as to what this connection means to them.
I think it's outstanding because it really shows that our community of individuals with disabilities across our state is larger than people realize. 1 in 4 Americans have some sort of disability in our country, so that's pretty substantial. And over 250,000 cases of CP happen yearly in the U.S. As far as diagnoses. So again, it is something that is prevalent in our community, but it's also something where individuals with all abilities can enjoy a great sport and just have a great day.
Do you have any personal connection with cerebral palsy?
I sure do. My cousin has cerebral palsy, and we grew up down the street from each other. So grew up in in a really supportive community, and it's why I do the work I do now.
So Craig, you came all the way from Peck, Michigan, over an hour away to be here tonight. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep. My son has cerebral palsy and some other issues, and so we want to make sure that we support it and get him out and actually get to see some hockey and have a good time. It's good. It's a good opportunity just to get him out with everyone else, people that have light conditions or not light conditions, and just let him be him and be out and enjoy the hockey game. So it's a good time.
Everything that they do, what does it mean to you to see all of this devotion and all of this attention being brought on cerebral palsy?
It's great because there's so many causes that go out for different issues that children have, and to have one that actually is diagnosed for, like my son, is a great opportunity for other kids to have that ability to see this, be able to benefit from it, and have a good time.
Well, that's what makes it worthwhile. I mean, you see them smiling just to have us, all we're doing is come out and playing hockey, and we're hopefully raising a lot of money and putting smiles on their faces.
It's really great to be recognized and for folks to see that the community is so broad and diverse. Coming here, being supportive, being able to engage with everyone, and just seeing some super cool players who also care enough about the cause to be part of the work here.
What do you hope are the biggest things people take away from being here on events like this?
Well, it's just that you can always give back, especially kids to see that at any point, no matter if you're younger or you're getting older, you can always give back.
The biggest obstacle to success and to fulfillment is, getting over fear. So it can be very fearful when you don't know what the resources are, but that is a great advantage of attending an event like this one, like the annual sled hockey game here at Orchard Lake St. Mary's Ice Arena, because it has a plethora of resources that everyone can be around.
Lots of great things at this event. It's one of my favorites. I love seeing all the hockey players coming out there, everyone having such a great time, and all for an amazing cause. We're going to take a quick break, jump into some more stories right here on The Splash Live right after this. Live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Jake Schaff, going over all of the biggest news and events from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. And here in West Bloomfield, we always look to highlight the change makers of our community, those who really try to put in the effort to make a huge difference everywhere they go. And there's one person in West Bloomfield who's already accomplished that at already a young age. Lincoln Malott put together an incredible mitten drive all throughout the winter season, raising pairs of mittens and collecting them to give to people in the community. I recently had the chance to speak with him and his mother to hear what inspired this incredible, what inspired this incredible project and what it means to be giving back.
I am part of an organization called NSCAR, which would be the National Society Children of the American Revolution. And at last year, our state conference, I signed up to be the Kids Helping Kids state chair. So I had to figure out a project, and I decided to just do Mittens for Detroit. Around October, when I first had my first Zoom meeting with Wendy from Mittens for Detroit, we started a mitten raiser, and that ended on December 31st. But we have raised over 600 mittens.
Why was this mission so important for you?
Well, I just really like helping other people, and I also, not only did we just raise mittens for kids, we also raised 100 mittens for the Michigan Veterans Foundation, which one of their buildings is in and around Detroit, and that's just one of the many reasons why it was so important.
Lincoln's mother, Courtney, was blown away by the amount of ambition that her son had and was amazed to see how far his project has gone.
He just has a really big heart, and he's willing to do anything he can to accomplish it. I don't think any of us thought that he would be speaking at events to raise funds or creating contests throughout the state to get kids involved. It's just been fascinating. What's blown me away is just people's outpouring support of the program. I mean, Lincoln's just a 10, now 11-year-old kid doing this as a 5th grader, and to be able to raise over 600 mittens. The goal for every corporation, we learned from Wendy, is 250, and he was able to get 600.
What are some of the biggest lessons and the biggest takeaways you've had from this entire experience and as you've continued to work with your mission?
One thing I've learned is even just a small pair of mittens goes a really long way, especially for the people receiving the pair of mittens. I hope to inspire younger kids to start getting into volunteering and donating to organizations, and that's just a really good way to start.
So much accomplished at such a young age. That's going to do it for us today here on the Splash Live. Big thank you to all of our guests and for everybody on the Splash Live team for making this show possible every single day. I've been your host, Jake Schaff, live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV.